Happy Friday, friends. My name is Katie and I am the owner of the Knit Nook, which is an online yarn store. We specialize in yarn from New Zealand, hand-dyed yarns, beautiful knitting needles and crochet hooks and anything you might need for making. So I'm here today because we are hosting a September make-along / challenge, which we are calling the FFS Olympics. That stands for Frog, Finish, Save Olympics. So frogging, ripping things back, finishing things, and saving things like something that you've already finished, but maybe you weren't totally happy with, but you never could be bothered to go back and fix the issue. So the goal there is starting September 1st for the entirety of September. We are clearing off our needles. We are getting as many things off our needles as we can. Think of it sort of as a spring clean. We did this challenge last year during the Olympics that started during the opening ceremonies and finished with the closing ceremonies. And it was so popular. People have been asking me about, could we do it again, even if there are no Olympics this year? And I thought, let's do it. I think we often all have more on our needles than we think we do, which is definitely the case with me right now, and you're about to find out. So I'm back sooner than I had thought I would be because I thought we could do a WIP parade. So I'm going to show you everything I have on my needles, and we can chat a little bit about that. So where to start? I am surrounded by many, many works in progress. I didn't think my number would be quite as high as it is, but here we are. These things happen. So I think I'm not going to categorize them. We're just going to dive right in and I'll just start showing you what I've got. So the first thing that is sitting in front of me is a Tolsta tank, which I started last year, maybe the beginning of last summer. It's almost finished, so I'm going to finish this one. I've got the two front pieces done for the tank top. The body is finished. I literally just have to finish the two back straps and then join them at the top. So this is knit with Rowan Creative Linen, which is a 50-50 cotton and linen blend yarn in a DK weight. And it's called apple green, or I think it was green apple or something. But anyways, I loved making this. And so I know I won't be sad having to finish it. I think what happened was I ran out of yarn and I kept forgetting to bring more home from my shop that I did eventually. So it's here. I've just got to finish this top so I can wear it this coming summer. So that will be, you know, not a lot of work for great return because it's nearly done. So that's my first work in progress. Then, oh, it's terrible. I know. I have another summer top that is done and blocked. I literally just need to seam across the top shoulders. It's ridiculous. This is a Woolen Pine Designs cropped tank, which was so much fun to make. This stitch pattern is freaking addictive. I had so much fun knitting this. I don't know if you can see all the lace, but man alive, that was good fun to make. So you do the two panels and then you join it in the round to do the body. Now the name escapes me. Perimenopause brain, man. I think it was called broomstick tank. No, probably not. I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen. But anyway, this is already blocked and it is cropped. So I was thinking I could wear this over like a light summer dress in the summertime, over a tank top, over my bathing suit. But I need to finish this because it's ridiculous. I literally just need to seam across the top and we're done. But as someone who learned to knit just mostly knitting sweaters and things in the round, I've not really had to practice my seaming too much. So I avoid it like the plague. So that'll be 2 summer tops finished that I can wear. This yarn, which is amazing, is from Yeah Yeah Yarn. I bought this a couple of years ago now. And I'll put the name in the show notes because I can't remember now, but really beautiful to work with. Okay. Let's see here. I have got an emotional support chicken that literally just needs to be stuffed and seamed or sewed up. So I even have its little safety eyes. I think what happened with this was I wasn't happy with my placement of the eyes because one is slightly off center. And so I was worried that if I carried on with it and finished sewing it up, I was going to have really crooked. See, it looks ridiculous. So I've got to take the eye out and sew it up. So, I mean, I've got a month to do all of these things and not everything am I going to finish. So things that just require a little bit of work, I really need to sit down and just take the time to do. So that's my plan. But then we will have a little support friend. I made the beak and the wattle. No, not wattle. Comb. There is a wattle actually. I just have to attach it. Out of Ashford DK weight wool, because I was looking for that like really strong red and it was the only one I had in the store that was quite that red. But the body is made with Malabrigo Rios and I've got loads of it left. Like I'm done and I have all of that left in the green. Don't know where the other color went, but anyways, so that will be my little emotional support chicken. I just love it. It was so fun to knit. There's a ton of short rows. So if you're wanting to practice your short rows, that's a good way to do it. Or to learn them. You get a lot of practice back and forth. But I really am looking forward to it being, you know, stuffed and I can just carry it around. I know my littlest is going to love it too. So that's always fun. So those are kind of all, you know, 90% and more finished. I just need to really like get my head down and go for it. Okay. This little shawl has no name because I was trying to write a pattern for a shawl and then I got bored and didn't keep going with it. And then I needed the needle for something else. So I just took the needle right out and there you go. So this is made with a combination of Malabrigo mechita in like the vintage rose color, which actually I do still have a plan for that yarn. Yeah, I do still have, I think I really have wanted to make a Andrea Mowry cowl. I think it was called like Ships and Birds and Ships, something. So that's what I originally intended to do with this, but at the time I needed something to match that light pink. So anyways, I'm going to frog this. I'm just going to rip it back because I have no attachment to this at all. And that one, that's that. Another project I've got on my needles that is still in its super early stage, so I'm not actually entirely sure what I want to do yet. Not this past year, the year before last at Fibretron, I bought 2 skeins of Hedgehog Fibres sock yarn in this amazing color because it reminded me of my favorite Canadian ice cream called Moon Mist. And I bought a matching mohair. And I got these from the Yarn Queen. And I just loved that combination. I thought it would really be beautiful in a Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mowry, which I still really want to make, but I'm definitely not going to be able to, you know, finish all the other things I have plus this in the next month. So as of yet, I'm kind of undecided whether or not I will rip it out. But so far, I do love what it looks like. And I kind of want to keep going with it. It's a very beautiful yarn. And I mean, anyone who has knit with Hedgehog fibers knows how expensive it is. But it's like crazy beautiful, but to have it imported into New Zealand makes it more expensive. So I don't want to just use it for a pair of socks because I've got 2 full skeins. They would make really cool socks, but I'd really rather use it in something that I know that I'll get to, you know, lovingly wear and enjoy. So I'm kind of I'm on the fence about this one. So I'll put that one aside and I'll have a think about it. And see kind of where the month takes me. I'm not going to be able to finish everything this month, which is fine. But yeah, I've got goals. I have got goals. All right, socks. I had less sock whips than I thought I did. I finished the Christmas pair, which I will show you in the next podcast. No, I already showed you. So right now I have got this pair of shorties on a magic loop 2.25 millimeter needle. Chow Goo is my favorite. And I've already knit 1 sock. So I feel like I need to finish this one because otherwise what is the point of having 1 sock? This yarn is quite fun. It is from Handmaiden, who is a beautiful dyer from the South Island of New Zealand. I don't know, it's not showing the sparkles, but anyway. This is a beautiful Stellina yarn, and I just loved the colorway, and I asked her to send me some. So I've already made a pair of leg warmers with this yarn, and I'm so happy with how they look and how they wash. They washed up beautifully, and Zelly loves them. So Zelly is my youngest child. So I think I am going to finish these at some point. I might tuck them away for when the weather is hotter, and I just need something lazy I can work on. Otherwise, I'll stick them in my purse, and then they can become my, you know, knitting for when I'm on the go, because I currently don't have anything like that, and I've been dragging around my big sweater. So that is 1 pair of socks. That is a WIP, and then I've got another pair in my little basket, which I carry around all the time. I haven't lately though. So these ones, this is a Zauberball, crazy Zauberball. And it's my first time knitting with this yarn, and it's so much fun. Sorry, it's hard to see the colors in here, but I really loved the colors and thought my husband would like these as a pair of socks. So that is what these, I mean, I'm nearly at the toe. So yeah, they've knit up quite cool, actually. Really fun to see how they change. And I just thought I would make some socks out of them and see how they knit up. I know they'll be like sisters, not twins, because of the color change in the yarn. But these, I think I'm knitting on a 2.5 millimeter. And I did 72 stitches because these ones are for my husband. Or one of my sisters if she claims them first. If you're watching this, send me a message and let me know if you want these socks. So yeah, so I'm nearly at the toe for the first sock. So I'm not going to rip these out. I might as well just finish them. And I know that I will because I love knitting socks. So I will add that to my, you know, keep it in the van, take with me everywhere sock. And then those will just get done probably over the next little while. What is next? Okay, so I had wanted to make a ranunculus for such a long time, and I've debated and debated and debated about colors, texture, you know, what blend of yarn to use. And I had settled on this color that I had in my shop. So I started this, and it was a mix of Naturally Baby Haven, which is a New Zealand merino, a brand that we have here, and Uma, which is a 37% baby Surrey, 37% super kid mohair, and a 26% mulberry silk. It is so light and soft and fluffy. It's like holding a cat. It's amazing. So I thought this kind of combination would make such a really cool kind of marled effect of a color. So I started that. I mean, come on, Katie, what is going on? This is as far as I got. And I don't know why I put it down. This was 6 months ago. No idea why I put it down, but I did, and I never picked it up again. So I think right now, I think I'm going to frog it, and I'm just going to tuck it away and then decide if I actually do really like that fabric that it's made and whether or not I want to try again. But I'll show you. It's not quite the right light, but it's subtle, but the difference is there, and I do like it. But I'm not feeling very motivated to knit this right now. I think because we went into the cooler months and I was wearing my mohair sweater a lot. I have a Felix pullover that I was wearing a lot, and I felt like, how many mohair sweaters does one want or need? I'm not sure. So because I'm not feeling motivated, I think I am going to frog that one and tuck the yarn away, and we'll see if it strikes my fancy again sometime in the near future. So that is a frog. Let's see here. I have got this shawl that I started, which was, I think it was Joji Locatelli's new one skein shawl pattern. What was it called? I'll put it down the bottom. I genuinely cannot remember. But it was more of that broom stitch, like the crossovers that was in the little crop top that I made by Wool and Pine Designs. And I love the effect of that. It's really fun to knit. And so I thought I would have fun with it. And I was in between projects, like larger projects at the time. So I cast it on, but I think I took it to knit night and everybody was watching me like, it looks so stressful. Why are you knitting that? And it felt stressful at the time for whatever reason. So I love this yarn. I'm going to keep the yarn, but I think I'm going to frog this. This is, I mean, if you catch the light, do you see the gold? There's a gold stellina in it, which is really, really lovely. And it's coming up darker than it is. It's like a really fiery orange red, which I love. And this is from Marmalade Yarn Co. Yes. And I will link her website in the bottom. But yeah, this is one of the dyers that we've had in our store over the years, and I love her stuff. I love her stellina. But I think this is not the right project for this. And I've got other things I'd like to finish. And I think I was only one repeat through. So I'm going to frog this. I'm going to frog it. And then I'll get my needles back. On a 4.5 millimeter. So yeah. So that's another one for the frogs. What else have I got? Now I've got things that I'm kind of avoiding. I don't want to show you, but I'm going to show you. Okay. So I'm going to start by saying this one does not count because it is a blanket. And this project, I feel like, is going to take me many, many years, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm happy with that. I'm not frogging it. It's something I've wanted to make for a very long time. So this is a beautiful bag that I bought in New Zealand from, I think her name is Wanda, and I will put her thing at the bottom. And it is holding my coziest memory blanket and all bits and bobs. I've got a lot of minis in here. I've got a lot of odds and ends from socks that I've made, like just endless, 20, 30, 40 grams left over from socks. I've got some little homespun house minis I've collected over the years. When did I start this project? I think last summer, or maybe last summer. So I've got 20 squares. The plan is for this to be large enough to at least be a big throw, if not like a queen size bed. But I have woven in my ends, and I'm really, really happy just doing this over time. It's something that I can pick away at. And I haven't touched it in a while, so I would like to pick it up and do a bit more on it. I mean, it's full. So, and I've got more bits and pieces from other socks I finished since I put this bag together. So this is a very long-term project, and I'm quite happy putting this aside and not really counting it. But for the purposes of this video, I will count it in my WIPs. Okay, we're nearly there. This project I started originally intending it to be a sample for my store. And then I figured out that we weren't going to have my retail store anymore. And so I think I kind of lost motivation to finish it. This is the Hedgehog pullover. And it is probably like the most intensive color work pattern I've ever attempted. So I've split for the sleeves and I'm on to the body. I'm hoping with a nice block, this is going to sit nicely. This is a sport weight yarn. And I am using the Sporti, which is a alpaca and merino blend by Alpaca Yarns in New Zealand. And it's such a fun, funky pattern. The arms are even more, like, I think the arms, there's another like 4 or 5 colors extra to bring in. So I would like to finish this just to say I did, because it's pretty cool. But obviously that's not going to happen overnight. So I'm going to have to make some decisions. I'm not frogging it. I'm not ready to make that kind of a decision because I really enjoyed working on this and getting it as far as I did. I was pretty happy with my floats. So we will see. But yeah, I do really like the weight of this sweater as well. And I think it would be really lovely to wear. I'm not sure if I'm ready to finish it this month. We'll see. So that's Hedgehog. Okay. The next one is, I know I can feel like people from my knitting group are maybe watching this and laughing, thinking like, I knew she had a whole lot of WIPs. I know, I maybe forgot about some of them. And then when I started pulling them all out, I was like, what the heck? How do I have this many? Okay. We're nearly there. I started a sweater for my husband, and it is a new pattern that just came out, and it's called The Finest Kind by Alicia Plummer. And it's a really beautiful, like, seed stitch or moss stitch, whatever you like to call it, pattern. And it's knit bottom up, which right away, not my favorite construction. But I just really wanted to use the yarn. Like, I just love it. So lovely to knit with. So this is Wild Wool by Erika Knight. And it is a British wool blend with viscose made from nettles. So I don't know if you can see like the texture. It is a tiny bit crunchy, but mostly soft. I think adding the nettle in really softened the yarn. So I started this. I'll just show you what I've got so far. So I'm nearly ready to be at the armpits and start shaping to go up. I think it's like a 3 needle bind off at the top, if I remember rightly. But I think the issue came when you stop knitting in the round and you have to start knitting back and forth to do the front. It changes the lay of those stitches because suddenly you're not just doing all, right side knitting, you're doing right side, wrong side. And when I was doing right side, wrong side, suddenly the way that the stitches went was just not lining up for me And I was getting frustrated. I did it 2 or 3 times and thought, I don't know why this is not lining up properly for me. My brain is just not in the right space. And I think at the time I was getting ready to close the shop and I just could not add that to my list of stress. So I had put it aside. I do want to finish this because it would be incredible to wear. I think my husband would love it. But it's lovely. It's a great color. I think he will wear it a ton. So I am committed to picking this up again eventually. Yeah, I think it's okay if you have things you genuinely think you will get back to that you leave on your needles. Because I think with time you either really will or you really won't, and then you'll know. And that's okay. You know, there are a lot worse things than just having stuff on your needles that you're unsure about. So we put so much time and effort and love into our making that I think it's okay to be, you know, on the fence a little bit. But I know he will love wearing this and it's super, super cozy. So that's that. Then I have got, I think this is now my oldest WIP. Okay. When I first opened my store, I was so determined that I was going to do a Stephen West shawl. It was the fall like knit along that's like the mystery one, so you get clues throughout the month. And I had quite a lot of fun getting this as far as I did. And then at some point it was taking me too long to carry on with it, and so I had just put it away. Now, I'm unsure about if I want to finish this or not. I'm unsure. It's crazy. Like, I feel like this has got a real circus tent. Funky, fun, wild vibe. Which at the time I thought, if you're going to make a Stephen West shawl, like, go all out, you know, pick the craziest colors you can, because why wouldn't you? And I actually do kind of want to finish it. So I think at one point I put it on this needle because I wanted my needles back for something else. But this section is sort of like a gentle, not twist. You know what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word, but I call these the seat belts. So I need to do one on this side and one on the other side. And then there's probably maybe 2 more sections of knitting to go. I think I am going to finish this. I really, I know I'm saying this about everything. I really do want to finish this though. I really want to say that I finished a Stephen West shawl and just wear it in all its like flamboyant glory. And if not, then maybe like just hang it on my wall for fun and for art, you know? Because Stephen West is probably the person I most would love to walk around inside of his brain and just have a little wander, because I think he's incredibly like thoughtful and creative in his design, and he just never seems to run out of ideas. It just blows my mind. But anyway, all right, we're closing in on the half an hour mark here, so I've got to finish this. All right, and last but not least, the last thing that I have got on my needles is my sweater number 23 by My Favorite Things in the Noro wool. And I don't entirely want to show this to you because I'm nearly there. Like, I'm like, you know, maybe an hour or 2 away from being done, but I'll just show you what I've got left. And I'll save the finished for another video. I'm on the second sleeve and I'm nearly at the wrist. So I've got maybe 5 or 6 inches left to knit. I've tried it on. I've woven in all of the ends. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm going to wear it so much. It's maybe not my favorite thing, knitting neutral colors, but I know that I will wear it a lot. So that has motivated me to finish it. And also I wanted to finish it so I have it as a sample if I'm able to do a pop-up sometime soon and locally show like all the beautiful Noro wool. So that brings us to the end of the WIP Parade. I don't know if you were keeping tabs the whole way through, but I'm pretty sure that including this sweater number 23, it brings me to a grand total of 14 WIPs. 17 is my highest that I've ever had before. So, you know, it's not quite as many as that, but it's still a lot more than I thought I had. I had just forgotten about some things. So the FFS Olympics, Frog, Finish, or Save Olympics are a worldwide participatory event. You can find the logo for it on Instagram. You are welcome to join us. I would love to hear in the comments maybe what your highest ever WIP count was, how many you currently have, if you're like brave enough to share. And yeah, so if you go to Instagram and you find that post, if you want to participate, all you have to do is post on Instagram somewhere and use the hashtag FFS Olympics 25. And then we'll be able to see it, and I'll be sending out a couple of fun prizes at the end. I'll just like randomly pick a few people. So that is it for me for this week. I will be back in a couple weeks because I want to share about my beautiful Noro Honui wool sweater when it's finished, and I'll be able to give you an update on how many WIPs I was able to get this down to. But yeah, have a great weekend, and I will chat with you soon.